Good morning, cats and kittens. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. Happy Sunday. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. We're going to do a little Lego designing today. So I appreciate you stopping by. Hello, Missy, Greg, Walter, and Vab. Appreciate you being here Sunday morning. I realize you have your choice in who to watch when it comes to Lego streaming, so I very much appreciate you stopping by and hanging out on my channel today. So, not a lot going on. We're just going to kind of pop into it. We've got a Burrower from Horizon Forbidden West, and I don't know if I like the size of what we left with, so I may reduce this a little bit. We may be starting over, so let's get into that. If you were not here on Thursday, we got a new microfighter. I posted this up on Instagram. I actually swapped out one of the pieces for the front nose thing. It's not the ideal piece that I wanted, so I'm still on the lookout for that gray version of this piece, which I didn't see at Bricks and Minifigs the other day. So I know I have a couple of the sets that this came in, so it's just a matter of just kind of waiting to get that set. Also, in order to put it on this stand, right? I'm going to do a build camera here. In order to put it on this stand, I have to take part of the greebling off. Usually I have a thing under here. I've got to put some hinges or something under there for some greebling. But in order to get it on this stand, got to take that off so it fits nicely, right? You don't have to do stands with these. I like doing stands with them because it kind of shows them a little bit. Ideally, the stand that I would work with would have, if I were redoing this one, I would make about 4 other ones of these, but just very, very small, like nanoscale. So it looks like it's part of that Katana fleet, because that's where this is from. So, all right. Got a new TV and went to Longhorn Roadhouse the other day. Nice. This minifigure is from the new Ahsoka. Let me get him out of here. This is from the new Ahsoka set. So this isn't the old Thrawn. This is the new Thrawn. This is the one from the Ahsoka TV series with apparently the wrong command code cylinders. He should have 4 total, but it has the right badge coloring. It has the yellow, whereas the old figure had the right code cylinders, but had the wrong rank insignia. It didn't have the yellow on there, so he was just an admiral. He wasn't a grand admiral. But this does have the dual print boots, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, so I'm very happy with this one. I know it's a little obscure. Not everybody knows what the Katana fleet is or what the Dreadnought class heavy cruiser is, but I'm very partial to it. I was hoping that I would get an old Thrawn, but I don't have that kind of money for minifigures. So anyway, yeah, I was pretty close to getting. There's a couple I've seen that they're kit bashes. You can get the white torso from a couple other minifigures. I think there's a Wolf Yularen and I think a Director Krennic. They're not the right insignia. But there's also a bunch of custom minifig places that'll print a Thrawn for you. So yeah, and that's fine. Like in some cases, I don't mind custom minifigs if they're not, if you're using them for something like that. I think it's fine. So this is the Burrower. Now, again, I don't know exactly how big it is. I've played the game and I've stood next to it, and it feels like it's smaller than what we've got here. Oh, Chinese knockoff version. That's fine. Sometimes when I'm building these kinds of things, I'm just like, it's the minifigure's not the real reason I have this. It's the ship itself is the reason I have this. But so this thing has to stand up, but I think it's too big the way it is. I think this is just too big of a, but I don't know. It might be fine. If we look at this image, it kind of feels like that's about a good size, but I think it could be a little smaller. If I lowered this to that level, I think it could be a little smaller. I think it could be more this size. Right, yeah, way too expensive. The original one came in, it wasn't even the original Ghost, it was the Phantom that went into the Ghost. So the other thing I wanted to show you is that I built the 3-in-1 astronaut set because I had a day yesterday that I had by myself. Beth was working. You are able to fit it onto I don't know if you guys have seen on Instagram, you are able to fit it on that lunar rover. The legs, let me show you real quick. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. There's two, you can't bend the legs all the way up into a sitting position. They only go about a little ways up, right? It's supposed to be posable in its little stand, so its little legs kind of do this. If you want it to sit, the legs have to kind of go up and out a little bit, so it has to man spread a little bit. And the little white bushings on the hips are going to come off. So just take those off and slide the joints out a little bit, and then you'll have a little more room to put up the legs and get it into a sitting position. This is also putting the backpack on it, the EV pack, which is a cool thing. It's just attached with 2 clips, so you can just easily pull it off. But yeah, I don't know if they designed it to be this right size, but I think it's hilarious. Also, he can't do a thumbs up like that. I don't know if you can see right there, but it's a clip on a pin. So I don't know if I've got a clip over here easily findable. I don't. Sort of this. So instead of to get its fingers on there like this, right? That finger piece. So in order to get that thumbs up, you just have to kind of put the clip on it a little. If I can do this with this piece, like that. So that's how you get the thumbs up. It's a fun set. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to get some pictures of it doing this thing, and then I'm going to take it apart and build the space dog, because that's what I really want, is the space dog. So, all right. So no more stalling. We are trying to get into this, and I'm having a hard time, like, emotionally and mentally getting into this build. Because again, I think this is too big, but I don't know how to make it any smaller. It's already kind of it's a lanky, sinewy kind of, and there's not a lot of pictures on it. Here's a pretty good picture. I think this is what we used last time. And it has little bitty paws, comparatively, kind of like the Watchers have little bitty feet. So, Lego related, I saw a trailer for Rebuild the Galaxy. And I didn't realize what was entailed in that. I didn't realize that all the weird sets that are coming out, the Dark Falcon, what is the other one? There's another set that was like off a little bit. Oh, thank you, Missy. I appreciate that. Yeah, they're both great. I don't think the Horizon one got a ton of views, which is kind of like Beyond the Brick is always like thousands of views usually for their posting, and I was like, I think this has like 150 views. Anyway, so the Rebuild Your Galaxy, go look up the trailer for it. The toys are from that idea. Like, I thought it was just like a fan invented kind of thing, but even if it is, it fits this narrative of there's this Star Wars story where this kid finds this cornerstone brick kind of thing, and he pulls it apart and everything changes, right? And so now we have TIE Fighter X-Wings, we have the Dark Falcon, we have white Jedi Vader, We have Jedi Bob. We have Darth Jar Jar. Like all these things, right? It's because everything kind of changed. It's kind of like a what if in Star Wars. And he has to try to figure out how to rebuild it all. So that's the point of the show, is rebuild your galaxy. There's a great line where Luke's describing the other timeline, the good timeline. And he's like, it doesn't sound great, right? He's like, wait a minute. So I do this, and then I kill my dad, and then I die from using the Force too hard. And the kid's like, well, if you say it like that, you know, it's actually pretty funny. I might watch it. I think it's coming out, I want to say December, but I don't know. All right, so back to this. I don't know. I think I'm having a hard time with this because I can't really tell. It feels like it just needs to be slightly smaller, but maybe this frame is a good size if I can just build within the frame. So let's just do that. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is there's a couple trailers for Star Wars Skeleton Crew is out, and that looks really cool. Let's see how I'm gonna. All right, so let's assume this skeleton's good. This is how we're gonna do it. It's a little off here. Let's move this whole thing in a little bit. And it looks kind of fun. Not gonna lie, it's definitely more kid oriented, which I think most Star Wars is, and we just kind of we fail to realize it, but this seems like more on the kids side of things. It feels like Goonies or Explorers, or what's that other one? The one where the kids find the alien signal with the technology, and they built a I think that's the Explorers. And then there's another one that was like the final navigator, the last navigator, something navigator. It feels like that. It's kids, and they get taken on a quest. They find a derelict ship, I think, and it takes them on an adventure. So it looks charming. All right, so let's just go ahead and start attaching bits to this and see if we can make it work. So I'm okay with the face the way it is. Let's bulk up the neck. Let's see, how are we going to bulk up? Oh, we need to figure out how to attach that. That's right. So that looks cool. But yeah, the whole rebuild your galaxy, I didn't realize that's where a lot of these weird sets are coming from, and it makes a little more sense. Let's see. So the possible attachments for this are caps lock on. Still been watching a lot of Olympics. We went to a bar yesterday, or a pub. With food and stuff, but it was like 10 in the morning to watch the women's national soccer team win gold. Sorry if you haven't seen that and that spoiled it for you. That was a lot of fun. It had been 12 years since they'd won it last time, so it was a big deal. Just trying to find some things that are clip oriented that could attach to this. What else can be held there? This also doesn't have to be a clip or this thing. I'd like it to be able to turn its head, but that's not super important. It's almost like I want another little ball and socket here, but I don't think they make that. So yeah, the Beyond the Brick videos are up. That's very cool. I'm glad they covered as much as they did at Brick Rodeo. It was very cool to have them there. It's always kind of fun to see them wandering around in their red shirts. You see two guys with red shirts and you know it's them, and people are like, maybe they'll come by and look at my thing, or maybe they'll talk to me about my thing. So people are always kind of looking forward to that. They're just a big deal. So it's kind of cool that they are at our little event covering it. And I say little, but it's grown. I can't wait for it to get a little bigger. Okay. You can also do the bar holder. This guy can hold that bar. So can this guy. But then you need another clip under here, so it sort of defeats the purpose. So what's everybody up to today? Anybody watching the last day of the Olympics? Are you watching some new movies or TV? Or are you going somewhere? Are you playing something? Got a new game? I think the next game that I'm going to get is Dead Space. I'm probably going to get it when I get paid this week. It looks like a fun survival space horror game, kind of Event Horizon-ish looking thing. Organizing some Lego later. I still need to figure out a MOC build for next week. I have no idea. I thought about it a lot yesterday, and I couldn't come up with anything that goes with the. I don't even know if I have the pieces up here anymore. The skulls, the cow skull. Oh. Prepping for Brick Erie, September 21st, 22nd. What are you bringing, Vab? Bringing some rockets? Probably not do a build of anything. We missed the last 2 months. I mean, that's cool. You can, just go to the meeting. I guess that's what you were talking about, right? Cool. So I think what I'm going to do is I left it at this angle. But I think I'm going to... I don't want to do this. What color are these? Or can I get one that's not super expensive? Light gray, red, yellow. Well, yellow might be okay. $1.62. Is this the newer one? Here's another thing. They're going to be split out. Price updating. Price updating. That's the older one. This will be the newer one. They have to combine these. That's $7. That's $7. Yellow apparently works. I think anything else makes this too big. So let's... Just finishing my stock counting on the program, renovating the expositor of minifigs and preparing new microfighters and dioramas. Cool, cool, cool. A lot of rockets. I'm trying to work a 1/110 scale ISS build. Cool. Do y'all see the news of the ISS? They're still up there, man. This does not look good for Boeing. The last I heard is that now they may be trying to use, they already have an existing SpaceX module up there that they can use to get home. But the whole reason, if you're not aware of what's going on, a couple astronauts went up to the ISS to do whatever they're up there for, scientific experimentation, you know, that kind of thing. And on their way up, the capsule that they were in was damaged. It was a Boeing, it was a private launch. It was a Boeing launch. I forget, it wasn't Boeing's rocket, but it was Boeing's capsule that's on it. I forget the details on that. But when they got up there, they noticed that there was some damage. So they're trying to figure out, it was re-entry stuff. So they wanted to make sure that they got it fixed. And they think they got it fixed, but they can only test it in space because once it burns up in re-entry, they can't test it anymore. They can't look at it because it all burns up. And so now they're like, well, now we're not really even sure if we can get them home, or we can get them home, but we'll lose all the testing. And meanwhile, that the SpaceX capsule is just sitting there waiting for them to be able to go home. So, and instead of like 8 days, they've been up there for like a month. Or something like that, something crazy. All right, let's move on from that. I'm gonna go to the middle body part because I'm frustrated at not being able to figure that out. Let's put a Technic or a snot brick. I haven't placed any actual bricks in here yet, so gotta do something. Do that. Starliner has been a failure since it went over budget and time. I'm not surprised. Is that the Boeing, the Starliner? Let's do some clips because I want to do sausage. Let's make this in black. And these in dark gray. This doesn't exist in dark gray. What is this? No, I wanted that black. And sausage. Also in dark gray. I don't know if this will work, but we're going to try it. That's going to conflict. I just wanted this kind of... maybe just one clip. SpaceX said they would send a Dragon capsule up to get the 2 astronauts, but Boeing has refused that proposal, starting to turn into a pride thing. Yeah, right? Well, I thought there was already a workable return capsule on the ISS. I thought there was already something up there. I think we'll rather do this. Nope. Can I put a round plate there? Round tile. Okay. So this is so I can give it sort of this nebulous kind of look, or a kind of bag organic look. It's pretty good. Oh, they'd have to eventually send another one up to replace the one that they take down, yeah. But I mean, I don't know if this is considered an emergency or not. Sure feels like one if they can't get their people back. Why are you all bent out of shape? That's where you need to go. All right, and we're gonna put a hinge or a bracket. I am going to make an appointment for the coughing. For next week. I am done with the coughing. I'm so over the coughing. Oh, these two things need to be... Well, that needs to be rotated. These two things need to be flat silver. So hopefully this will clear up. Figure that out. I don't need that. Starting to get back up here where I need to connect something. Alright, now we need to focus on the hips. This also needs to be black. Oh, yeah, okay. Not just administratively an emergency. More like science fiction movie space emergency. Oh, speaking of, there's a new space disaster movie coming out. I don't know if it's theaters or streaming. It's got Lawrence Fishburne and Casey Affleck. I'll probably go see that. The new Alien movie's coming out soon, Romulus. And I know it's a it's not a reboot of Alien, but it's kind of like in a similar universe. They still haven't figured out that aliens are a threat, so they, don't know how to deal with them. I don't know what the story is. But already, like, if the ship's called the Romulus or something like that. Like Sandra Bullock in Space Disaster. I'm not going to lie, I liked Gravity. It wasn't the greatest, but I liked it. I liked that it was a little intimate. What I didn't like is and this is kind of the same reason I didn't like Lost in Space so much, because Lost in Space was just like, look at all these disasters this family is escaping from and overcoming. I'm like the reality of space mirrors, I think, more The Expanse, where it's like one little mistake and the whole ship is toast, right? Not like this. They've survived, so there's so much debris, and yet somehow they survive, and like all this, I'm like, that's not how that works. You guys would be so dead so quickly. But anyway, I don't know. So while I liked it, I was kind of like, I don't think you guys would actually survive all that. I'm going to put an orange tile here because they do have some orange on them for the little, yeah, and see what happened to it. Where'd it go? Turn, turn, turn. Select, put it here. All right. What about the back legs? Back legs are a little different. I think. It's hard to tell. It looks like they've got different tiles. So let's do a different tile in white. And then I almost want to put plate. This on the back of the leg to give it the orange. So it's slightly different, but a little the same. Yeah, it kind of, I from what I can tell, the trailer is kind of like that. I don't think it's anything supernatural like Event Horizon. I think it's just, or Life. Life was another one where you're like, come on. To this day, one of my favorites, and I don't think it gets a fair enough shake, is Sunlight. Sunlight was amazing. The last kind of little bit of it was a little odd, but I really liked that one. Okay, so let's put, because I can't really tell from any of these pictures what the back of this thing looks like. That's the one thing about, oh, here we go. Again, the toys for the win. Does this actually have a canister? No kidding. Oh, see, there's two of them. That's not a canister, though. And this isn't the real thing. This is like a fan thing, but it looks like it could hold a canister on the back there. None of these look like they actually have a canister, though. Why does that one? Interesting. Well, maybe I'll put a canister back here. That'd help. So that means that this back end will be a Technic brick in black. And then we're just going to shove a, is my caps lock on again? Brown brick in hot orange. And we'll put a little round plate on it. All right, and then this still needs to be raised up a little and given some. See, that's yellow, that's yellow. So there needs to be yellow, but with a little white on top. This is probably a pretty good image, but with the plants are in the way, that's not. I like how this says 3,000 by... That's not 3,000, but whatever. There we go. Oh, that's glowing because it's highlighted in the... Your focus highlights weak parts for when you turn on your focus. There's two in Horizon Zero Dawn. You can only turn your focus on and off, right? It's either on and you can see things like you can highlight different weak points in a machine. You can see climbing points. You can see all kinds of stuff. Forbidden West, you can pulse it. So it kind of pulses out and it'll show climbing points and resources that you can gather. You can still turn it on and you can highlight a machine. And when you highlight the machine, you can use your D-pad to kind of cycle between the components of the machine. So when you first look at it, it says an overall weakness. It's in your little HUD, it says it's weak to fire, it's strong to acid, or something like that. But then once that's highlighted, if it's a larger machine that has components, most of these smaller ones don't. But a larger machine, you can cycle through components, and they'll have one that's like, it'll say, it has all these symbols that are like, it's detachable. So if it's a resource that you need, you can detach it while you shoot at it. It's explosive, which means if you hit it with the right element, it'll explode. Or if you hit it with the right impact arrow, it'll explode, which damages the machine. You always want to look for those, because the bigger the machine, the more help you want to get knocking that health down with your arrows. So if it's got a big old sack ablaze on it and you hit it with a fire arrow, it'll explode. Knock half or more out of the hit points. And then there's like it'll say usable weapon. And if you shoot that off the machine before it dies, you can pick it up and use it against them. So like the Thunderjaw, it's got these two big disc launchers on its hips, and they shoot these discs up that then like rain laser fire down on you. But if you shoot it with your tear arrows or your impact arrows, it'll knock it off. And then you can pick it up and shoot discs at the Thunderjaw. One of the most instant kill things you can do is the Thunderjaw's got a section of its body over here. If you knock the plating off, it's got a heart inside it. And if you hit that with a disc, it almost instantly kills it. So it's a lot of fun. You can cycle through, and like if you're hiding in the weeds, you can kind of spy on them and plan what you want to hit and shoot at those first. And so that's what that highlighted yellow thing is that's a component that you can knock off. And when you knock off components, it takes off more health than just shooting at it. But this is weird because I've never seen these guys with canisters before, but I guess that's what this holder is. That must be like an Apex. Is this an Apex burrower? Some of them are Apex burrowers. So again, this may be fan work. I don't necessarily know. It says during my time at Koku, and we did this, and so I'm guessing this is as real as it got, because I mean that's pretty close to what we see in the game. So these are pretty invaluable. I wish it showed the size, but I think we got a pretty good size. I think this head could be a little smaller now that I'm looking at it. I don't know how to make it smaller though. I think if we lowered it and put it in a position where the thing I want it to be able to do is stand up and like kind of meerkat a little bit. That's what this is, kind of like a little meerkat. Have it stand up and have its head facing down, and then when it's down, be able to have it face forward. So that's why it's on this ball joint. All right, so let's do a plate up here for now. Make that white. What modified plate, and then slope or wedge. I wish the math on that worked a little better. So if you haven't, I know I suggested this last stream, but if you haven't yet, and you have Prime, I would highly recommend watching Batman Cape Crusader. It's wonderful. It is very much it's Bruce, it's Bruce Timm. Is that his name? I have to look it up because I want to be right about this. Is it Bruce Timm? I don't think it's Bruce Timm. Yeah. So Bruce Timm is the executive producer. I think J.J. Abrams is also a producer, but like when the credits roll at the beginning, there's like 7 executive producers. But it's in the style of the animated series, and it's very cool. Like it's a little, the Batman look is a little older. Like this is kind of what the 40s Batman looked like, right, in the comic books, with the ears kind of pointing out a little bit. And the cartoon takes place in the 40s still, right? It's still that era of Tommy guns and mobsters and stuff. And but it tells, the stories it tells are a little different from what we're used to in like the origins of things. Like I don't want to ruin it because I think everybody should watch it. It's 10 episodes. They're 20 minutes each. You know, it's on Prime. So if you get a chance, I would recommend it. It's very, very cool, I think. And if you're morally against Amazon Prime, I get it. I am not a strong person like that, so. Oh no, it will conflict. How can I put it here? That doesn't look good. Okay, it doesn't have to be those. Let's think of something else now. I don't understand. That seemed like it was going to work. Let's do tile. What color do these come in? It says they come in yellow. Let's do that. Let's get some of these yellow tiles in here. I'm sure this won't be expensive. Can't really tell. Where's that toy? It's black. So let's put a black tile, round tile on top. Good. All right. So other than space movie disasters, anything you guys are looking forward to coming up? I know the Olympics is going to be over, so there's going to be a giant gaping hole in my viewing evening during the day kind of thing. But the Paralympics will be starting in a couple weeks, if not immediately after. And then right after, starting tomorrow, the Women's Tour de France starts. So I probably will try to tune into that as much as possible. Yeah. All right, so we got a good handle on this. Again, it's a little bigger than I wanted it to be, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy because I'm not going to change the size on this at all. Let's see. What else? I could put more of these guys over here somewhere to cover up this section. August 28th. Cool. So what'll happen is Peacock is going to get my money for another like a month because I'll watch the women's Tour de France and then the Paralympics. And then after that, I'll get rid of it until 2 years from now when I get it back for the Winter Olympics. So, okay. And now we're back to up here. Round brick. Is there a brick modified? Does this fit in here? I think this is going to be too big. Yep. That's good. Oh, nice. Isn't that that's like one of the first of the series for, because there's like a yearly cycling series. That one, there's another one in the US. I forget where they hold it. I think it's in New York somewhere. And then there's one in Mexico. And I think there's one in Germany. And it's like a yearly thing where you go through and it's like a circuit. And a lot of them will get you to qualify for the tour at the end of the circuit. I think that's one of them, though. Hi, Kodiak. How are you? Thanks for being here. We are working on a Burrower. So this is where we're at. I think it's a pretty good representation. I need to work on this neck and we should be good. So I think if I do a little, he's got a little antenna thing on the back of his head here. I wish I could figure out how to do that. So that's a good shape for the head, but I almost think it's too big, but I don't know what else to put up there. I could do, you're awake and in severe need of coffee. I'm taking, for those who do Duolingo, I think I brought this up recently. If you'd like to join in the escapade of learning, I'm on Duolingo. And one of the sentences that we just covered said, "I need coffee." All right, I think that's a little better. It's added pieces, but I think it's a little better size-wise. Which also means I could do this in the back. Oh no, I can't. Because another plate back here would be... Oh, you know what I could do? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Plate modified. Italy, Giro, France Tour, and Spain is Vuelta. Cool. So I can do this and then have a little antenna thing back here. Our handle. Gonna be one of these guys. That looks good. And what color do these need to be? I can't really tell. That still needs to be white. So does that come in white? Oh, I wonder if that comes in yellow. Nice. Let's just do black on that. That may be too much. Do we have something smaller? know if this is going to be good. That might be a little better. Yeah, let's do that instead. All right, so modified brick. That's going to be black. Unless it comes in orange. It does not. So black it is. I'd like to get some orange in here somehow, but... And since I'm not able to twist that one... Oh no, I might be able to. Rotate that. See, it gives me any guff. That's pretty good. The problem is when his head goes down, that's going to look really weird. But maybe I can turn it when his head goes down. So like right here is good. In the Spanish one, there's no Poga car. So someone different from him will win this one. Hopefully it's the Portuguese João Almeida. Hope I said that right. Almeida. I'm guessing Pogacar is a reigning champ of some kind. I haven't, like, I like the tour and I like cycling races in general, but I have not been keeping up with it this year or for the last couple of years. I used to be huge into the cycling community. Writing myself, trying to get in local races, all that kind of stuff, paying attention to like Olympics racing and stuff, but just not doing well with it lately. Why is this so weird? What angle is that? 313? Okay. It's weird. Okay. All right, now I just need to connect this, and I've painted myself into a corner with this. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Find compatible bricks. I mean, this could work under there. Close enough. Close enough with your stupid inability to speak Portuguese. The women were playing. It was the women against the U.S. women against Brazil yesterday for the gold medal in soccer, and they had a close up, and I don't know the player's name, but she swore something. I'm like, I don't speak Portuguese, but that looked dirty. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't pay attention, sadly. Ooh. Nope, that's not gonna work. I wonder... I have this, and if I do... one by one clip. Yeah, I feel like I need to, no, not a clip. I need to, brush up a little bit on my who's who in the tour this year. I have a limited range on this. And it's right about there. So I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let's try that. Let's move all these guys out the way. I don't think any of these are going to be helpful, so let's just get rid of them. It's way too far out. It's way too long. So I think I'm not going to move its head. I think just it's too small. So I think what I'm going to do is cut my losses and do just a clip and handle so we can be done and I can move on to another one. Because I kind of want to get through these. I feel like I want to get the rest of these done by Austin next year. The big thing that I'll be taking to Houston will be the next project support. I don't think I'm going to take anything else. Maybe microfighters, if I get some more microfighters done by then. And I'll talk to, that'd be a good idea. And I'll talk to them about doing a game with them somehow. But I really do want to get these guys done. So let's do another one of these in the middle here. So what's going to be the easiest? This guy here, which are, I think, expensive and only and limited parts. But I may already have some. Although if I want to use that, I can't do that. The Vuelta starts next Saturday in Lisbon. Nice. And on Sunday, we'll pass by my city. That is also the city of Almeidas. So the town is preparing to support areas for him when they pass by. Are you going to go? Are you going to go check it out? Going to go wave at the Peloton as it goes by at 50 miles an hour? Do you know if you're going to live in like a time trial area, or are you near some mountains, or what kind of segment would you be near? Clip. I wish this was stronger somehow. Oh, I don't even have those attached yet. Whoops. Yikes. Okay, well, I got some reworking to do here on this head. Move the mic out of the way. I feel like I'm being crowded. I thought I had this kind of in the bag. So let's rebuild this head a little bit. Because if that's the case, I think I'm going to employ a Travis brick here and try to figure some of this stuff out. And maybe it's okay if like the claw things are on the outside. So if I did this and this, and then I could have, see at this point, and then a clip for this front piece. I wish we had something like that in Austin. I know that we had some races in Colorado because Boulder is where a lot of people. It's where Lance Armstrong trained, and I know he's kind of a pariah now, but that's where, you know, a lot of the U.S. Postal Service team trained back in the day was Boulder, because I don't know if I want to do that. I'm going to no. You know what? I'm going to get some more of these guys and put them on here to give it a little more a good look here. Oops. Just that. These guys can be white. Zisoo, what's going on? You're on a flat area? Cool. So it'll probably just be a regular segment or a time trial, maybe. Hello, Zisoo. How are you? How's your Sunday? I hope you're doing well. All right, that's a little better of the head. I think this clip needs to be darker. This Travis brick needs to be black. That can only be dark gray or black, so it doesn't really matter. We were talking about the end of the Olympics, the beginning of some cycling races. This can be that color. We're also talking about the trailers that have come out for Rebuild Your Galaxy, the Lego thing that was where the Dark Falcon and some of the other goofy X-Wing TIE fighter ships came from, and the weird figures and things. So it's not as cash grab, fan derived as we thought. It actually has some sort of focus, so that's cool. Man, I wish I could sleep late. I've got animals that wake me up. Like, hey, you wanna get on this whole feeding me thing? All right, so because now I have a Travis brick here, let's move this guy out of the way. And put this guy in its place. And now I might be able to do that bar thing again. But let's be smart about this. I could put the bar, ball. Yeah, the Lego thing looks kind of fun, but also, I'm a very light sleeper, and for a long time, when I was working, I don't need a lot to wake me up. I actually have a fan that's on, a big box fan that's on all night, because I need it to drown out all the little creaks and bops and plinks and taps and whatever, the house settling, the air conditioning turning on, the cats and dogs doing their thing. I need it to drown out some of that, because if I don't have it, I'm just like, every time there's a sound, I have this galvanic skin response where every little sound makes my skin just like go boom, just like a plucked string, right? It just vibrates. And I can't sleep. And so the fan helps with that. And I don't know if, because I had a fan as a kid, because we didn't have air conditioning in the upper floor of our house. We grew up in Colorado, and you don't have central air. We have one room with a window unit. So in the upper floors, when it gets hot in the summer, you got a fan in the window blowing out, right? You want to kind of blow the hot air out of the upper floors. So having a fan in there all the time, I think probably conditioned me to always have a fan. Yeah, it's pretty bad. like when the cat starts in at 4:30 in the morning, just sitting at the end of the room, our bedroom, just going meow, meow, meow. Not even a cute meow, just like a meow. You know, I'm like, I'm awake and I can't go back to sleep now. And that's very annoying. So, but when I needed to get up, and he's only recently started this, so I think he needs to be either fed more or needs to be more entertained or something. I don't know what it is. He has to go to the vet soon anyway, so we'll figure it out. But when I did need to wake up, I had an alarm, but I didn't have it go bap, 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 or I didn't have my phone. I would do this thing with my phone where I'd have it do the gradual kind of. But before that, I had it turn to classical radio station. And this is back when I still have the clock radio with the alarm on it. It will it'll do the classic radio station, which is normally just like nice music at that point in the morning. But it's also like they come in between each song and they're like, that was Sonata in D by Handel here on KMFA, and you're like, oh, nice. But it was never that. It was always like strings and stuff. And then suddenly you're listening to it and you're like, oh. But just my clock radio kind of going this little right when it turns on, that would wake me up. And then I would know the music was coming. I'm like, I hated it. So this can be now not alternative, find compatible. This can now be this guy again. Like I went out, my dog will bark and scratch at my bedroom door. Yeah. Like I went outside, I want food. Hey, are you still there? I always thought I would be pretty good with radio. Except I'm perpetually congested, so I always sound like I have a sinus infection. I did want to do reading for the blind. They had a pathway to voice acting was do reading for the blind, and then you'd have like kind of a backlog of reels that you could do saying, well, here's me reading this textbook or this book of poetry or something like that. But when you were volunteering for that, there's a place here that does that. You have to like be a minder, or you have to be like a monitor for like 6 months. And a monitor is just, you keep track of what they read. And then when they're done with their 2-hour session, you got to mark it. You have to mark the mistakes. You have to tell them to go back and read certain things. You have to be able to run the equipment. You had to do that for 6 months before you could start like filling in occasionally on odds and ends, and then you get your own gig. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And so I noticed that all the people who were reading were all old people, and all the people who were volunteering or wanting to read were all young people. And I'm like, I don't want to be here for 20 years just so I can read. But I still think it'd be fun. I might do that when I retire. Okay, so this can go back in here, and this can go here now, but I want it to be just slightly farther out. Can we do that? It's too low. Oh, I just want an interim piece here that is another hinge. Kind of back to where I was before, but because then if I stand this guy up, will that go all the way down? It should. But as it is right now, it's lower than the rest of the body. Oh, Beth doesn't care at all about the Olympics. At all. She paused the other day. She we'll sit on the couch and I'll watch the Olympics, and she'll watch Mostly it's been Taskmaster, but she's also been listening to these comedians who have a podcast or had a radio show for a while, a British guy and a Welsh guy. And she's been listening to that a lot and watching Taskmaster. And one night, pretty recently, we were watching, it wasn't even a lot of the finals. It was some finals of track and field, but it was some semifinals and stuff. And she was watching and was interested, and there was some diving. She likes diving, and she likes some gymnastics, but I couldn't get her to like, you know, she paid attention when she wanted to, which wasn't often. No, I did too, and it just wasn't happening. All right, maybe, yeah, see, his head needs to come up a little bit. I still think this is entirely too big. This is almost like, ugh. So I like the head. We're going to keep that, but I don't think this is going to work out. It's just, there's not enough. It's a good connection, but what I need is like a dumbbell with two of these on either side. So I think I'm going back, but the other option is to do that. So let's see. Let's do another option, which is modified plate. Yeah, I think like the only time we're going to be able to watch anything together is if I start liking something she's already watching. She won't ever watch anything I like. Isn't that true?
Right here.
No, I know.
True. I started watching Taskmaster.
I never watched Taskmaster. You started that on your own.
I started watching Cast of Countdown.
I meant like the Olympics.
Oh.
Like I was like, no, she didn't care about the Olympics at all.
Well, I have some.
You have.
Thoughts about it.
You have.
I don't want to say moral objections because people are going to think it's like all the ultra right stuff.
No, moral objections are like, look what it does to a city. Look what it does. You know, we don't take care of our athletes. Yeah. We let in human rights violators. You know.
People who are rapists.
Yeah, that was a huge thing. That the Dutch volleyball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of work. Yep. All right, go enjoy your eyebrows.
Okay. I'm gonna enjoy my eyebrows.
Go enjoy your eyebrows. Are you doing the eyebrows and eyelashes? Yeah. Nice. All right. See you in a couple hours.
Okay. I'm gonna go pick up medicine too.
Yep.
You need anything from CVS?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too. I found a couple of sets at 50% off at Walmart Friday. Nice. That's always good. Taskmaster have Noel Fielding. It did. I don't know which season had Noel Fielding, but yes, he was a participant. And I think it's a season she's watched. So. Okay. So let's no. I think I have to do. So here's one piece of it. And I need the other pieces. Why can't I find this? There's another piece. And then just do another clip over here. Oh no, I don't want to do a clip. I was going to do a claw. And this just may have to do, but I think it's going to be so big. That I don't think it's going to look good. What happened in my clip here in the middle? Sora's Transforming Mech and Dream's Turtle Van. The Turtle Van is such a good set. And I didn't get the other thing, Sora's Transforming Mech. I got like some of the first wave of Dream sets, and they're very cool, and I wish I could have got more. I know that the Dream's tree house went on sale on Amazon a while back, and I half-heartedly thought about getting it. They're really cool sets, and I really hope that they get a lot more. I hope they go for a while, because I think it's really encouraging people to, especially the instructions and their great artwork, and their kind of, hey, which level do you want to be? Which path do you want to take on your build experience? You know, I think that's great. God dang it. All right, so I think I'm at a point where I want to stop working on this. And I can move these guys from here. Get rid of this, get rid of this, and do, oh. Waiting for the discount for the big Raven set, yeah. But again, have to pick and choose. Like, if I'm going to get Star Wars and all the space sets, that's kind of a whole thing. Man, I was really excited about getting this in place here. Come on, man, turn the right way. How do I attach this to this thing now? Okay. I'm gonna have to do a connect because this is not listening to me. Thank you. Now the math has to work out with the other side, and it won't, because that math doesn't work. I need clips. I need new pieces. This is where I would, if I was designing for Lego, I'd approach the parts designers and be like, all right, I need a two-sided bracket. I just do. And they're like, well, use a Travis brick or use a modified brick with snot brick. Can't do that. Or I need a 1x1 with clips on both sides. There is something like that I'm wondering. There's a round piece. This guy. I wonder if I can use that in here. Now that I think about it. This would actually work out really well. Do I have orange classic spacemen already? I have all the spacemen. I even have baby spacemen. I just got the gift with purchase micro rocket thing, and I put that together, and it's very cute. I put it together when I was doing the recording of the podcast that I'll link to once it comes out in a couple weeks. Oh, and of course, that's not going to work because the camera sucks. So there's my classic space plate. So white, gray, pink, purple, blue, green. Green is the only one that's a little odd because it's a motorcycle helmet, and it came in that kind of early QSO Ideas mech set. Yellow, orange, red, brown, black. Black is Blacktron. They don't have a classic black space, I don't think. And then all the CMFs for it all, with the pink baby, the blue baby, and now with the micro rocket thing, you get a white baby too. So I have a whole like classic space shelf over here that's got Benny's spaceship, the new Galaxy Explorer, this plate of figures, and then the backdrop of the 4 Tales of Space postcard things. And real quick, I'll show you the rocket one because it's adorable. So here's one of the ships. It's super cute. I don't remember what ship this is. These are all based off of classic space sets. So there's this one. There's this guy with the white figure in there and the bouncy wheels. And it's got like the radar dishes in it, and this thing goes up and down. So that's cool. And then it comes with this little space setup, little base, and the rocket set. The only downside for the set, because it was very cool, the only downside that I could find was that these are stickers. That's a sticker. And that's a sticker. And then all the control panels under there are stickers. And then that bit right there is a sticker. So instead of like a neat GWP that had some cool classic space graphic printed on it, they were stickers. And I was a little sad about that. But otherwise, this was a lot of fun. And now I've got a couple more space babies. And everything's working. So here's the new plan. I'm going to try to do modified plate. I forgot this piece existed. This is exactly what I needed. This. And then oh, this is going to be a bummer because this is exactly. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. But these can attach in here. Somehow. Still haven't built. It's really neat. Oh yeah, I bet they're expensive because they're GWPs. I hope they do more. Like, I think that's be a gift, a neat gift with purchase, because they did. I think they did Castle, right? Did they do a Castle one? A micro build? Can you imagine a pirate baby, or a knight baby, like a, what is it, the Black Eagle or Black Falcon knights with the, like, the blue with the little falcon print on it, crest of arms. I think that'd be rad. I'm okay with doing this now. Apologies. So there. Let's get the head out of here before we lose it. I think we got it nailed, y'all. I think that's good. God, it's so big. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all the extraneous. And then I can do modify tile, or is it a modified plate? Yeah. Nope. I guess. And let's put a rounded tile here. All right, I think I'm going to be done with this for now. I think that's good. Yeah, I think it'd be great. You could get even little pirate ones, and have little hats to go with their heads, little tricorder hats, little baby knight helmets for the knight ones. I mean, they should do all the themes. I think that'd be all the classic themes, and then have like a city one with like a fireman or something. All right, so yeah, I think I'm done with this for now. It's as good as it's gonna get. I'm going to. This is gonna suck, but I'm gonna try to lower the feet. I'm gonna try to get this so the feet are a little. Closer to the ground so that it looks right. So when I do a render, they're on the same plane. And that doesn't look like it got a whole lot lower, but... So maybe these guys can render, raise up a little bit. I don't like how sometimes it moves in like big chunks and sometimes it moves in very small amounts. So not real happy with that. Okay, cool. Nice, nice, nice. Let's get you on the same level. Perfect. All right. Done and done. When this thing stands up, it's going to tower over her. And I'm not really happy about that, but what are you going to do? All right, so half hour left. I will take this opportunity to say that on upcoming streams, we will be building these. The new Plum Blossom and Chrysanthemum. Botanicals. La Fleur de Prunier and Le Chrysantheme. Chrysantheme. Collection Botanique. And also, I took the Sydney Opera House and the Big Ben Elizabeth Tower to Bricks and Minifigs and traded them in and got enough to get a bunch of stuff for Beth. She wanted a lot of stuff for her group. She got a Lego book that was a how to build mindfully. Some exercises you can do, like group exercises, creative exercises that she's going to do with her therapy group. And so we went to Bricks and Minifigs and she just bought a big bag of brightly colored simple bricks, like 2x4s, simple plates, simple bricks. Nothing terribly complicated, but a lot of different colors. So it was kind of basic, right? Just a big bag of that. And then some Duplo and some plates so that in her group she can have people build like patterns or mandalas and then build maybe towers and some other stuff. So that plus I traded in for this guy so we can build this on stream. This was really the only set that Bricks and Minifigs had that I kind of wanted. And only because there's a couple of figures in here, like Commander Fox would be rad to get to put in a microfighter somewhere. I'll have to find out what ship specifically he piloted. I know people got mad because this was like a Coruscant Guard LAT, so it was almost like a city patrol LAAT, which they already had. They already had a patrol craft made, but they decided to do that instead of making this weird ship that I don't think ever saw the light of day on a TV show or a movie. But there's still no pilot. There's no official clone pilot. Like, they still haven't made one that I know of. But Commander Fox is pretty cool. Even if we could do a microfighter of this, I could put him on that. And there was a microfighter officially of this set that is easy enough to change the colors on. So that'd be easy enough to do. Or if he's got another thing that he is known for, then we can put them on that. I already have a Palpatine from like another set. I don't have a Padme in that kind of outfit, and I think she would be good to have her in that for like a Naboo microfighter. If I could figure out how to make them in like flat silver or something chromish or whatever. Yeah, so that was like $150, I think. 140. So trading out those two sets got me that plus everything Beth got. And I also got, where did I put it? Did I already lose it? I also got this. This was $10. I'm gonna go ahead and close this for now. I got this for $10 and it came with this figure. So this is from the High Republic 4+ sets. And I've already done a microfighter of this. This is the Crimson Firehawk, and I just now noticed that it's missing a thing. It's probably in a bag somewhere when we brought it home. This is from those sets that are like big chunky 4+ sets, right? Like they're very large pieces. They're easy to put together for kids. They're not terribly complicated. I I mainly got it for the figure. This cockpit piece is going to be almost useless. I'll try to keep it nice, but it's got so much printing on it that if you don't build a ship that's also got red on it, it's kind of worthless. And I think these are also printed. So, yeah, once we get these on here, the whole thing is a little less wobbly. But some good pieces, like these are new to me, these engine block pieces. That's actually not an engine block, it's just a Technic brick with some slopes on it. So, but it's still cool looking. So yeah, I don't have any of these 4-year-old sets, 4 and up sets, but I got it for that figure. So now I can do a microfighter with Dash, whatever her name is. So I got that. So I think all in all is probably a good trade, considering that the Opera House, they were both open, they were both previously built, they're both probably a little dusty. I tried to dust them off as best I could. So, but yeah, in future streams we'll build that too, but that's not going anywhere. Would want to mod it to look like the white ones with blue designs from Genndy Tartakovsky's 2003 Clone Wars. Genndy Tartakovsky Clone War LAAT. I spelled Genndy wrong. That's right, it's 2 N's. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see one in here, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, right here. That's cool. Do it with the, you could probably get a sticker to build it. There's also a way to build it with those lever things. You put a lever thing over, like a black lever thing over a yellow plate behind it, and it kind of looks like a snake eye. I don't know how you would do the teeth as a flat thing. You'd probably have to do a sticker. But I think that's Commander Fox. Yeah, her name is... I know I've got it in here, so I'm just going to look it up. Because we did it recently. Oh, Nash. Sorry, not Dash. Nash. Nash Durango. So yeah, this is the microfighter version of that. And you can see it's a pretty simple ship, but Crimson Firehawk. I think the set is even a little more dumbed down than the ship in the show. So there's the... Somebody did a set on Rebrickable, because, I mean, that's the set in Lego. And it comes with these 2 figures, and this koala thing wasn't involved. But, like, the actual... Let's see if we can do minus... Well, I can't do minus Lego, because that's the only thing it appears in. But it's supposed to be... see, it's a little more detailed than that. So I think mine is a little more faithful to how it looked. But yeah, this is still just a Lego show version of the High Republic. So that takes place in the High Republic. All right, so the next thing, let's take a look at the list. So, the next Horizon monster to be done will be... Oh, wait. Do we want to do by game? So we've already done... I'm trying to think of the ones we've done in order. So we're still finishing Scorcher, and then these 2 are the bears. I still have to finish that. And there was one other one, oh, the Rock Breaker. I still like some touches on that. So I'm trying to think in order of the machines you meet in, kind of in order of how you meet them, because you meet a couple right off the bat. The Burrower's the first one you meet. And then you run into, I think, some scrappers, and I've already done a scrapper. So already done a scrapper, so we've got that one done. Scrapper is basically a reskinned scrounger. So early on in the game, when you're getting used to the controls and they're teaching you how to use the controls, and you're walking along with Varl, you run into these Burrowers, and you have to scan. It teaches you how to scan and how to track and all this kind of stuff. But then the very next thing you run into is a, and I don't have it listed here, Slitherfang. So a Slitherfang is a very, very large, a very large monster, and it's one that you run into. So the story goes, for those who don't play it, there's a blight in this new, you've crossed into the Forbidden West. So you've gone from your old area across this thing, and you can't go back to like the first game. You go across this cutscene and down this like giant gondola kind of thing into your new map, right? But before you actually get there, there's like, there's a mission you do before you get into the Forbidden West. And you kind of go off, I think, I'm trying to remember. You're trying to find this information. Oh yeah, that's right. You find this information, but it's in this area that's protected by, you think it's a Slitherfang, and it's off in the distance, but it shows up and it's really 3. So you have to climb to the top of this old shuttle thing and cut some wires, and it collapses the wreckage on top of these Slitherfangs. Well, it kills 3 of them, but it pins one of them. So you have to fight like a pinned one. It can't really move, so it's a little easier to fight. Yeah, Slitherfang also sounds like something from Karate Kid, the dojo Slitherfang. But it's this massive thing, and you have to fight it right away before you really run into any other animals. So technically, this is another one you run into, but it's like an Omega level beastie. So they're very big. It's a Cobra analog. It's giant. Here's a pretty good picture of how large it is. Like when you're standing next to it, you're only really as big as tall as these, as it is wide. Right, so if it's this round, you're that tall next to it. It's pretty big. I don't have a lot of, I have to look at it a little bit, but this will be the next one we build. So we're done with this. I'll render this guy later and be like, hey, look how kind of off scale this is. And everybody will be, it's too big. I'll be like, yep, I know. Oh, you know what doesn't have? I just realized something. So the design thing doesn't have this. Copy. Paste. And it should go under chat. There we go. Sorry, that might be a little more helpful. I didn't realize I didn't have that up there. So it's pretty big. It's fairly easy to fight because it kind of stays away from you and it telegraphs its moves, and there's going to be some things like it'll be easy to figure out how big it is based off some of the parts. I kind of want to see if there's one, and this becomes again the when you're fighting a big. So here's a pretty good, that's a really good showing the size of it. So you fit in its mouth. This is one of those, the bigger they get, the more you have to aim for their components and hope to hit something that explodes and wounds them. Blaze canisters or corrosive canisters. Also, if they're weak to a certain element, if you can hit them with that, it causes a elemental state. So if you hit them with enough like acid arrows, it'll turn them corrosive, which means every hit after that will hurt them more. or if you hit them with a freeze, or what was the other one? It's a water one. But anytime you hit it, or a burning, like they'll be in a burning state or a corrosive state, anytime you hit them after that, it'll hurt them a little more. So you want to keep them in this state. So there's lots of things that you can hit on this guy. These things are, if you hit this with an electricity arrow, a shock arrow, it'll hurt them. If you hit this with like a plasma bolt, it'll hurt them more. So, but this will be fun doing like all the leaves out here. I think this will be fairly simple. It's just going to be jointed segments. Tech Eagle 21, how are you? Thank you for being here. In ultra hard mode, it took me an hour to pass this one. Died twice, bring down its health. Yeah, like I have yet to do either of these games on ultra hard. I tried on hard just once. And I couldn't get past most things. I was so frustrated with, like, there was one kind of early on, you run into, it kind of depends on the path you take. Like if you want to do a bunch of side fetch quests, you run into a lady that was in the previous game, and she was part of this hunting group, which they pride themselves on hunting the machines. And you can go to these hunting lodges along the way, and the more you do, you get rewards for it. And at the end, if you've accumulated the right number of rewards, you get a special thing, right? So she was part of this kind of story that weaved in and out of the hunting lodge kind of culture. And she shows up in the second game, and you immediately have to go on this little side quest to find out what happened to this dude that she knows. And you go into this one area that's got a kind of a mine shaft kind of thing. And this shell snapper pops up, and the shell snapper is another large, it's on the large end of the medium bill monsters, or the small end of the large monsters. But it's nearly like on hard, even I couldn't get past it. I'm just running in circles, hoping I don't get hit. I'm barely hitting it at all. You kind of have to rely on the friend who's with you. They're like, here, take some ammo. And it's always kind of the ammo you need. And you're like, okay, just shooting fire arrows at it for 45 minutes. So, but I went back to play it just to do the story. I've yet to 100% either of these games, but, yeah, you can easily fight one machine for an hour. And the one you fight at the end is a little harder because it's unfettered, but you still have help. There's a couple you run into in the wild where it's just out there doing its own thing, and you run into it and it'll fight you on its own accord. But in story mode, you fight. There's those three you see at the beginning. You crush two of them. The third one's pinned. And after you wear it down, it breaks loose, and you have to fight it kind of on its own, but it's at like 20% health. And then the second time you fight one, you're in this giant arena, and you've got friends with these giant ballista scorpion things that shoot at them, and it kind of helps a little bit. So you're just trying to stay out of its way and shoot it. So you never really fight this on its own unless you stumble upon it in the wild. So if we were looking this from a building Lego perspective, if I've got, all right, so let's get rid of this. This is okay. This is again the Burrower. We're done with the Burrower. Good. We'll see it again in a render. All right, so we'll get rid of that, and then we're going to save this as Slitherfang. Make sure I spell that right. So this is how big she is, and if we're assuming that one of these segments is probably as big as her, because by the looks of it, the head's at least as big as her, and the head's about as big as one of the segments. And most of these are just kind of rounded. That's not a really big image. I'm looking for size large. Trying to find one that's got a good comparison, but I doubt I'm going to see one. This is a thing it likes to do, likes to wrap itself around stuff and kind of attack you from behind things. This is the first time you run into it. it's pinned beneath some wreckage and it can't lash out at you really well. Oh, here's a good shot of its head. We're probably going to rely a little bit of this on these ArtStation creations. How big they are, what they look like. This is a real great one of its segments. So you can kind of see when we get to it, looks like about 4 of each, and then it's got split up by 4 total, 4 in each, and then the head and the tail. Oh, here we go. Apparently it's this big compared to a person. So if we were to assume, yeah, so let's just say as tall as one of those segments. And pretty good look at what the segments look like. That's the tail. This is a pretty good one. Nothing really stands out in terms of plates or what I have a feeling I might do is there's these shield pieces. The second one is easier due to help and better gear. Yeah, humans don't really use the snake method of movement for tech, do they? Humans don't really use the snake method of movement for tech. Not yet. There's nothing that we've built for vehicles or medicines or anything that uses kind of a slither. And it's weird because the locomotion is basically a 2-part thing where like the front part will adhere itself to the ground and its scales will dig in and move while the back end squeezes up. And then that back end becomes now the front end that lays down and squeezes and pulls it up. So it's a muscle contraction with sort of like a traction underneath with the scales. A worm would kind of do that too. So like contraction and release kind of, and it kind of will inch itself forward like some parts. The best I can think of is like an accordionated bus, but that's not even really close to the kind of movement. It would be so complicated to do that mechanically, I feel like. Yeah, they were cool renders. I like going to ArtStation and Sketchfab to get good ideas. There's a 2x4 with a bar, I think. So I have a feeling I'm going to use this piece, and we're going to have it. That's going to be dark gray, and we're going to have 4 of them attached. So the easiest way to do a section that size would be a Travis brick. We only got a couple minutes left. I'm just kind of getting stuff ready for the next time we start. Brick modified. This will be kind of what I'll be going for with the segments. This will be the easiest way to do it. Facing forward, Travis bricks with clips. Although I may do claws because they can... Yeah, let's do claws. Because the clips will fall off. Now the claws can only go in so far. But they will be able to go in far enough because you can see inside. And they have to be the same height. So they all have to run into each other. And then we'll do this. Oh wait, we'll rotate all these. Nope. There we go. So it'll be that. That. So this will be pretty easy because then we can do, this segment should be about as tall as Aloy. That's probably good. And then what we'll do is then fill in the gaps with another Travis brick rotated 45 degrees. Holding out another piece that goes in here. And then another one to do, so this will be like this one section here. And then to get them to move independently, that'll be a little trickier. So this will be one segment, right? Let's just do this. This will be one segment maybe. This thing's going to be monstrous. It's just going to be entirely too big. And I have to be careful of that because I can't make it be bigger than... It's probably about the size of a Thunderjaw in terms of total length, so I can't make it be bigger than a Thunderjaw. Have I played Metroid Dread? I feel like I've played all the Metroid games. But I don't recall that one. Is it a Switch game? Because if it's Switch, I haven't played it. And if it's newish, I haven't played it. Oh, 2021. I haven't played it. I wish I could play... I need an emulator that I can play Switch games on because I don't have a Switch. And I need a better video card for this if it came out on Steam or something. But no, I haven't. I remember seeing some of the previews for it and thinking the monsters looked terrifying. I think I remember seeing that. Yeah, these kind of mechanical things that were segmented and had lots of arms and stuff. Yeah, like this. Those are cool. Yeah, I mean, I'd play it. I like the side scrolling. When we had a Switch Lite for a hot second. I played Metroid and Metroid 2. That was a lot of fun. All right, so maybe, yeah, we're at noon, so I think I'm going to call it. But this could be about the size of it. But again, I think if I did it this big, it would be massive. In comparison, so let's open up. Let's just say I did, what did I say, 4 of these? Go a couple more minutes here. So if I did 4 of these each, let's just say I did them this size. And a little bit in between, because it looks like... Well, no, let's just attach them. Because then the... Why would you do that to me? Oh, it doesn't matter. Then in between, I could put tiles or something to give those highlighted sections, right? So it was 4 by 4, so it was 16 total. I like how at the last minute it jumps into an incorrect attachment. You're like, yeah, that works. And then it goes bump. Nope, that's wrong. So there were 16, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just double this. All right, so that's how big that is. Doesn't matter if these are all attached. Weird thing that it's doing over here. I don't know what's going on. Cool. It's got a neat little undulating look here. Get out of the way, man. Cool. That's cool no matter what. Like just it being off a little bit. That's pretty cool. And then let's open. So this is just the body, no head or tail. And real quick, before I call it a day, let's open the Thunderjaw and just see how big it is comparatively. So it can't be much bigger than that. I think if this coiled up, and I can find YouTube videos on this. The comparison size. So, because the Thunderjaw and the something spine are the biggest ones in the game. Slaughter spine should be the biggest one in the game. So we'll have to see. No, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that comparison. I know there's probably YouTube because there's a one that they do comparison battles. Oh, nice. They want to do Slaughter Spine versus... It's a Deathbringer versus a Thunderjaw. Forget how that one ended. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's where we'll start. It was something about that size, and we'll just kind of see. Maybe it needs to be a little smaller. In which case, I could probably take one of these segments out and alternate. Maybe it doesn't have to be that long, so we'll figure it out. But anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. I'll be back Thursday, I think. Let me check, because I think we have tickets to see something on Thursday. So before I make any promises... Yes, Thursday night I will not be streaming. This needs to be PM. We're going to go see Tim Minchin on Thursday night. So I will not be streaming Thursday night. Thank you for being here, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. I'll be back Sunday next week. And we'll either be working on this or we'll do some building. We'll have to see what comes up. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.